I want to tell you something that happened to me last fall. Something I've never been able to fully explain. I was a refrigeration technician, traveling alone, small towns, long nights, the kind of work where nobody notices if you don't come back. The town they sent me to felt wrong, too quiet, too empty, more abandoned buildings than open ones. The kind of place that doesn't appear on people's travel plans, the kind of place you pass through and hope to forget. I checked into the only motel with vacancy, single floor, 12 rooms, doors facing the parking lot. The office smelled like old coffee and bleach, and the woman at the desk, she kept glancing past me, toward the parking lot, like she was watching for something, like she already knew something I didn't. When she handed me the key, she said, "If anyone knocks on your door at night, don't answer it." I told myself it was nothing, just drifters, just a quirky old motel lady. I was tired. I wanted to believe that. My room was near the far end, second to last. On my way in, I saw him. A man, sitting in a dark green pickup truck, engine running, headlights off, hands on the wheel, perfectly, completely still. He didn't look at me the way a normal person would. He didn't look away either. He just sat there. I went inside, told myself I was overthinking it, but something in my gut didn't believe me. 10:30 p.m. I had just gotten into bed. That's when I heard the footsteps. Slow, steady, and then they stopped. Right outside my door. No knock, no key in the lock, just silence. And then they walked away. And then they came back and stopped again. Same place, same silence. Just after 11, someone knocked, 2 times, exactly the same. I looked through the peephole, nobody. The walkway was completely empty. I stood at that door for a long time, heart pounding, telling myself there had to be an explanation. Then I noticed the curtain. It had shifted, just slightly, just enough. Enough for someone outside to see in. Around midnight, I heard it. Metal, scraping against metal, near the door. I got up, crept toward it, put my eye to the peephole, and that's when I saw him, crouched low, almost beneath the view. Dark baseball cap, one shoulder, and then he stood up and walked away fast, like he knew I was watching. I called the office. The woman went quiet when I told her. She asked me one thing. "Did you open the door?" Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "What did he look like?" Just, "Did you open the door?" I barely slept. Every sound pulled me back awake. 5:15 in the morning. My truck alarm. I looked through the window. There was a man standing at my driver's door. Tall, dark jacket, hat pulled low, door half open. And then he turned and looked directly at my window, like he knew exactly which room was mine, like he had known all night. I called 911. He was gone by the time anyone arrived. The woman at the desk said, it was probably just someone messing around. But here's what I keep coming back to. She warned me before any of it happened, which means she'd seen it before, which means she knew, and she put me in that room anyway. Room 11, second to last, far end of the lot. Don't answer the door. The police came 15 minutes later, took a report, checked my truck. Nothing stolen. One of them asked if I was sure I had locked it. That's when I knew they weren't going to help me. But the older officer, he was different. He listened when I told him about the crouching figure, about the knocking, about the silence that felt louder than any sound. Before he left, he told me one thing: if it happens again, don't open the door, and leave as early as you can in the morning. I asked if he thought it was random. He said, probably, but his face didn't match that answer. I stayed, told myself I was overreacting. During the day, everything felt normal. Sunlight, work, people, the kind of ordinary that makes you doubt your own memory. But when I drove back that evening, the dark came fast. I parked under the brightest light I could find, carried everything inside in one trip. I wasn't going back out. The woman at the desk saw me. She could tell. She offered to move me, room 2, closer to the office. I asked why she hadn't done that the night before. She hesitated. Then she said, "It usually doesn't happen 2 nights in a row." Usually, she said usually, which meant sometimes it did. Around 8 p.m., I heard it, a truck moving slowly through the lot. I looked through the curtain, dark green pickup, same one. It passed my room, turned around near the road, and parked at the far end. Lights off, engine off, just sitting there. I called the owner this time. He sounded irritated, told me if the truck wasn't blocking anything, there wasn't much he could do. I asked if he knew who it was. He said, "People come and go," and that was it. I sat in that room for an hour, checking the window, again and again. The truck never moved. Eventually, I turned off the lights, turned off the TV, lay down, still wearing my clothes, and I waited. After 11, the footsteps came back, slow, deliberate, and then a tap, not on the door this time, on the window, then another, closer to the center of the glass, and then something dragged slowly down the window, like a fingernail. Whoever was out there was standing inches away from me, separated by nothing but glass, and they knew I was inside, lying there, pretending to be asleep. I grabbed my phone, started dialing, and then I heard something worse. The bathroom window, rattling, small, frosted, above the toilet, a window I hadn't even thought about. Then, the room next to mine, a door, opening, not like a guest checking in, like someone forcing their way inside, quietly, carefully. That room had been empty since I arrived. I knew that. I crouched against the shared wall, and I listened. Movement, slow, deliberate, the sound of someone trying not to exist. I called 911, started whispering, and then a hard hit on the wall behind my bed, like someone testing it. Then another, lower, then silence. And then the bathroom window in my room started to open, not rattling, opening. I ran in and threw my hands against it, shoved it shut. Something on the other side pushed back. Once, not hard, just enough. Enough to tell me someone was right there, on the other side of that glass, in the dark, waiting. The dispatcher told me 2 minutes. It felt like years. Now there was movement at the front door too. More than one set of footsteps. Then the knocking again. Soft, patient, like they had all the time in the world. I jammed a chair under the doorknob. I knew it wouldn't hold, but it was all I had. And then, headlights. The curtain lit up, and I heard something I hadn't heard in 2 nights. Running. More than one person. Running away. The officers found the screen from my window, removed, lying in the bushes, fresh pry marks on my truck, and on the door of the empty room next to mine. Someone had been inside that room. The older officer pulled me aside. He asked if anyone had a reason to target me. Then he told me they had seen that green pickup before. 2 other incidents, same motel, past 6 months. Men staying alone, traveling for work. One left before reporting anything. The other woke up to his door, slightly open. Nothing stolen in either case. The officer said they believed a group was targeting out-of-town men, watching them, waiting until they were isolated, and then trying to get inside. He never said what they planned to do. He didn't have to. I packed my things while the officers stood outside. Before I left, I don't know why, I checked under the bed, and that's when I found it. A folded piece of newspaper, torn into a square. On the back, someone had written 2 things, my room number and my truck's license plate. I hadn't been chosen randomly. They had been watching me before I even checked in. I drove 2 hours home, straight through, before 1 a.m. I still had one more day of work. I didn't care. My company sent someone else the following week. He stayed in a different town, and I've really tried to forget about it. But I keep coming back to one thing. If the police had arrived just a few minutes later, I don't know what would have happened, and neither do you. Check under the bed tonight, just to be sure.